sim does start you out engines running on the runway for every aircraft. You can simulate a cold start just by taxiing off somewhere and shutting everything down, which is what I'm gonna attempt here. So, because you can do a fairly realistic cold start, at least for the Seneca, and there is no checklists. Also, I didn't see any sort of commands or anything really for aircraft checklists, and I don't have a add-on for a Piper Seneca, so I'm just gonna kind of go off the top of my head here. I do have that Piper Aztec. You've seen that video, so it can't be too dissimilar, right? All right, so let's get started here. So we got first thing you want to do is turn on the battery master. We'll just turn on the alternators. So, and let's make sure I have. We'll start with the left engine. We'll mixture up. Left engine, fuel pump. Where's fuel pump? All right. There's fuel pump. And next is the magnetos. There's the crank switch. Let's crank her up. Seems to be working. See if we get a little oil pressure here. All right, looks like we got it. Switch that off. It's magnetos. Right fuel pump. Oh, maybe we should put the mixture up. See that? All right, let's give her another crank here. Oh, my mistake. I just sort of woke up not too long ago. All right. Well, that did it. So let's see here. All right, oil pressure in the green. Lock the throttles. Turn off the fuel pump. Turn on the strobes. All right. And as you can see, this aircraft panel's definitely ADS-B certified. Now, here's the thing is with this MFD here, it doesn't save the panel state, which is something they really need to improve, because it's just showing. It doesn't really show all the information I like to see right off the bat, like all the airspace boundaries, all the nav aids, you know, all that good stuff. But it can, and it does. You just have to you just have to set it up, and I spent quite a bit of time doing that just earlier, and it doesn't seem to have saved the panel state. So what you do is you just hit the menu button here. It's pretty realistic though when you get down to it. And then you have different groups, so I'm going to start with map, and then it's kind of a pain though, especially with like you know, wearing a track IR, because it kind of moves around, and you know you're trying to work this thing, and yeah, so I'm just gonna try my best here. Let's see. Auto zoom, yeah, you know, we'll keep that off. Your wind vector, that's one we want. Nav range ring, you see that this nav range ring, it's got this black kind of rose. It just looks real funky. I don't need that. Topo data, we'll keep that. Topo scale, it's pretty nifty. It's a nifty little scale, you know, like you've seen in geography books. Shows you the different elevations, but we're not going to need that, so I'm going to keep that off. And then just going to move back up here. Go to the next group, aviation. What you can set here is the range. 5 statute miles, intersection NDB viewing range. Okay, we'll keep that. VOR viewing range. Okay. Airways. Oh, that's cool. You could, yeah, well, we want all of them. Airspace. Sure, we'll go at 80. I believe that's all of them, so. There we are. Looks more familiar now, doesn't it? Okay, so let's well set our altimeter. And get the standbys. This doesn't really work. Altimeter set. Airspeed. Okay. You know, I'm not really gonna worry. Well, I haven't really messed with the autopilot in this aircraft. Let's see. Okay, I recognize that. Okay, so here's the alt switch. So can I set the altimeter? Alt. Oh. I'm thinking use here to set, okay, that's heading. But I want alt. Keeps going to heading. Yeah, okay, so you know what? I'm just going to conclude that this is not functional the way it's supposed to be. It's bugged because I did mess with the autopilot in the other aircraft, the Malibu Mirage, and oh boy, yeah, for some reason the altitude on the autopilots do not work as far as selecting it. It does seem to level out though, whatever altitude you're currently at, and when you hit the L hold button, it will attempt to hold it. So let's just hope that's the case later on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off Oh, hey, looks like Z still kills the autopilot, just like in FSX. So that's pretty cool. All right. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and check the ATIS here. That's right, I have voice turned off because honestly I think the ATC voices need a lot of work. It's actually quite distracting. So I went ahead and disabled that. Oh, and this is an uncontrolled airport, so you know what? We'll just announce our positions as we go here. What's this? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. All right. Anyway, let's get a move on here. I got my strobes on, but I don't really... Yeah, where's the strobes? Oh, God. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Bear with me, I'm using the rudder pedals, and whenever I fly a twin with these things, it's just, well, it could be better. I'll just say that. I really do like how the rudder pedals feel though in this compared to FSX though. It actually feels a lot more realistic. So that's one thing as far as controls go that I really do like so far. Well, I guess there's no strobes. I think the lights still have to be worked out because I did do a dusk flight and I noticed there was no landing lights either. The cockpit lighting though works and it's actually pretty good. I really like the night lighting inside the cockpit. So anyway, so yeah, no checklists, and I would do normally I would do a run up here. So we'll just kind of do a kind of little abbreviated run up here, you know, just for realistic purposes, usually you run them up to like 2000 RPM or so. 18, whatever, 15. And then you do some sort of magneto check, you know. I'm just gonna kind of run it up though. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Well, there is a little bit of a decrease I noticed there. Let's see. On the manifold. Okay, so yeah, that actually does affect the engine, so that's pretty cool. Alright. Like I said, that was just to see if it actually works, so I want to get up in the air, try to keep this video from going over 40 minutes if we can. Check for traffic. All clear. Whoa, a little too much on the throttle there. Alright. It's kind of a short runway, so I'm gonna give her 10 degrees. Alright. Airspeed alive. It's kind of a short runway, so laps up. Terrain effects are really cool. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a hit when I go through these clouds. Oh wow, that lighting is just awesome. The shadow effects right there going across the panel. That's a first for me. I mean, it's pretty cool in DCS, you know, because that's the only other awesome looking sim that I play. Other than that, it's just been FSX mainly. Whoops, sort of forgot to put up the landing gear. You know, I really do like the auto-gen. The scenery looks, you know, like FSX for the most part, but except that auto-gen, actually it looks really good. I'm also pretty amazed at how well my computer's handling all the dynamic object scenery down there, all those buildings. I can tell there's quite a bit, and you know, it's running fairly smoothly. Of course, that could be because there's just not a whole lot of clouds yet. Sure, once I get higher, I'll probably take a hit. Sorry about all the zooming in. There's no pop-ups either. That's one thing I really miss, man, because those pop-ups come in so handy. You never realize, especially for us people who lost our eagle vision, how handy those pop-ups are, man. They really are helpful. But I'm only hoping that that gets implemented in the next update. So while I got her trimmed up here, I'm going to go ahead and fire up the autopilot. And let's put her in nav mode. CDI is set to GPS, nav. And I'm going to go ahead and put Alt as well, just to see what happens, see if it holds my altitude. Seems like it's working. We got an indication right there that those are the modes selected. It looks like it's actually tracking us on course. Now the altitude, okay, let's see here. Okay, altitude doesn't seem to be working. Let me see if I can select vertical speed. see that, yeah, that still doesn't work. Vertical speed. All right, I'm not sure if that's even working. So I mean, it's certainly locking down the elevator to where I can't. That's just such a bummer, though. It doesn't level out the airplane. Okay, there we go. Looks like we're just over Olympia now. Oh, those don't really work. I like that. You know, it's kind of a nuisance, but it really is a helpful reminder that, that you need to lean your mixture so your engines could operate correctly, and just a tap of Control X, it'll do that for you. It's pretty awesome. Although I normally like to do it myself, but in this case I just saw it pop up. I thought I'd try it. I accidentally disengaged the nav hold button, so we got to get back on course. Like it's doing it pretty aggressively. Oh, looks like the rain stopped. Nice airspeed. Nice crab angle into the wind. Yeah, just keeping the vertical speed to 0 is a good little workaround, keeping the aircraft level. So yeah, while we're just cruising along here, you know, I think it's a pretty good sim. A lot of things that I spoke about already, though, like the lack of pop-ups, rather partially functional autopilot. So far, those are the only two things that really stood out so far. But other than that, I really do like the weather effects. I do like the rain effects especially. And as far as the future goes, I'm still gonna run FSX. I'm still gonna show you know, different things in FSX because there still is so much more that FSX can do compared to the state that this sim is. Now, I'm hoping it's not too long that this sim is, you know, on par or above than what FSX is as far as functionality goes and versatility. But functionality and versatility right now are one of the reasons why I've been sticking with FSX for so long. I don't got prepared. I don't think I'm gonna get prepared, although that is a very stable platform. It is pretty realistic. It's from a good company. X-Plane 11, I really do like what I see with X-Plane 11. That actually is something I would probably get into, but I tried X-Plane 2 versions ago. It was very costly on my system, and honestly, the way the flight dynamics were, I don't know, it wasn't feeling it. It was a little too, I don't know, it seemed a little too much based on real physics, like real aerodynamic physics, and I thought it was a bit overkill actually as far as the way it was simulated, but it did have a lot of versatility. I did like how you could go up into orbit, you know, near Earth orbit, and you know, it was pretty expansive, but I never got into it, and that was just a demo. So I had already also invested so much in FSX. There's a lot of aircraft that I can't just drop, you know, because I still feel like a lot of my add-ons I haven't gotten, you know, their full use out of them yet. So definitely going to be doing more FSX stuff. So at the same time, though, I want to call this my next step. You know, I can't wait to see what's in store in the next major update for FSW. So we're nearly there. Yeah, something I did kind of notice, and I know it's a bug, this low pressure left vacuum in-op indication here. That seems to be showing in everybody's videos that I've seen around the web, and it's so funny because yeah, if I got a low oil pressure on my left, and it's actually quite operational. As you can see, it's all green, so I was a little baffled there, and sure enough, I've seen it on some other videos, and yeah, it's just some sort of bug, I guess. Suction gauge, I don't know, I'm not really going off my standbys right now, but secondly, I don't have the checklist. Where's the suction gauge? Okay, 4 point. Well, it's in the green, so yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe they just made the texture a little too bright. I don't know. Let's. Well, nope. Those are lit. What are these two? Heat or overheat? Pitot heat. Do I really need my pitot heat on? Okay. Let's see where's pitot heat? Prop heat. When it's all right, that one went off. Heater overheat. Again, I don't know what that's all about, so I'm not going to worry about it. Got a little cut up there. Should have descended by now, but we're not too bad. Looks like we're going to be a straight on in. Let's jam on in here. I also got the realism settings up a bit. I got the torque and P factor, all that good stuff set up about a quarter of the way. All right, still a little high, but no joking around here. All right, let's try to nail this one. It is a short runway though. And we got her. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Oh, my brakes aren't working. Oh my god. Alright, well, brakes are definitely kind of weak. I don't know what's up with that. I guess that's going to need some improvement. Yeah, my brakes are hardly working. Huh. Okay, well, we tried for the best. Anyway, guys. So, that's FSW.